Good morning. It's Friday. I hope you've had an amazing week. You know how we do, come in the room, tag a friend, grab your coffee. Oh, wow. This has been an amazing week for me. I hope it's been an amazing week for you. It's been a short week for me. As you know, I was on vacation. So until Wednesday. And so I've only been to work a couple of days this week. Sorry, guys. Didn't set my camera up correctly before I went live. And we're here. How are you doing this morning? Oh, my goodness. Yes. There we go. So, so anyway, happy Friday. I hope you have an amazing day planned and some restful plans for the weekend. And if you're working, plan some breaks in the midst of your work. Remember, a stressed mind cannot create. You know, in the government contracting world, you may be working this weekend. There are RFPs due. There are strategic plans that we have to get in. If you're in the compliance world, you're planning your incurred cost submissions or you're planning your scrubs for preparation of end of year close. Um, and you're prepping your team for the incurred cost submission, depending upon when your calendar year, because we all know incurred cost submissions are due 6 months after your close of year. And every company doesn't run on a calendar year. So it depends on when your business closes. So you may be planning your incurred cost submission. So I don't want to assume when you're planning your submission. And with that, and if you don't know what an incurred cost submission, that is basically your grand submission to the government, to DCAA, of all costs by billing level to DCAA, which is the Defense Contract Audit Agency. And that is what they use to then come in and audit your company. And that is something contractors submit on a yearly basis once you've reached a certain level of contracting. Smaller companies don't have to worry about it yet. However, as you grow, you should keep it on your radar. You should become familiar with it, what it entails. And I would say once you shouldn't wait until you're asked for it to prepare for it, because it's not simple to do. It isn't something you just hit a button and develop. No. And it isn't something that they actually give you a whole lot of time to submit. Larger companies, I mean, they give you 6 months typically once you're asked to submit it, but it isn't easy to submit. Even big companies who submit it yearly have difficulties with it because you have to reconcile it back to your trial balance and your general ledgers. And the larger your companies, and because you have to do it at your billing level, you run into some discrepancies, and you have to square it away. And I don't care what people say, Well, everything is automated now. That doesn't mean everything ties out. And everything isn't always rounding. There are times when things don't flow the way they're supposed to flow. And you have to find that out. And that's actually a way to check your system. And I've had people swear up and down their systems were error proof and tight. And we, our system doesn't do this, that, and the other. And here comes the incurred cost submission. And it was like, oh, yeah. So smaller companies typically don't have to worry about it, but you should keep it on your radar as you grow. And it's something that, especially if you plan to work with the Department of Defense, you should do it. And as you cross the $1 million threshold, you're going to be asked to do it. And for all of you, my glasses are just disgusting. As you cross, those of you who keep saying, I don't have to worry about auditors, yes, you do. I've talked to people who are so arrogant. I just told them auditors to go away and they packed their bags. No, you haven't met the right auditors. Government contracting auditors, different breed. GAO auditors, different breed. Because these are the auditors that can suspend your billing. And you can have that attitude all they want. And they may leave your office. But when they suspend your billing and you can't pay your bills and you're sitting there looking silly, then what? Learn your industry. I'm just saying. So yes, take time this weekend if you're working to build in those rest periods. If you're not working, you're entering Q4 or getting ready to enter Q4. You want to get ready for that. Well, as we know, I announced this is, excuse me, had to adjust my camera. This is Announcement Friday. So for Announcements Friday, we're talking about, the registration for the Contractors Intensive will be up this weekend and ready for registration Monday. Oh my God, the dates are September 11th, 12th, and 13th of 2024. So finally worked out the kinks for that. Great empowerment information. We're talking about disclosure statements. We're talking about the bid proposal process. We're talking about capture and development, just to name a few. We're actually going to talk about the incurred cost submission. I'm working on some representatives from DCAA coming in to speak to my audience. So yes. So, and what the registration is going to look like for this, the advanced registration, which is going to run through the end of the year, will include the perks of an additional day of pricing. That's only for those who register between now and the end of the year. That bonus, that perk goes away in December, I believe I set it up. Whatever is there when the website goes up Monday, that's what the advanced registration looks like. And an invitation to a networking dinner on the night before the intensive begins. So the intensive begins September 11th. There's a networking dinner on the evening of Tuesday, September 10th. That is only for those who register in advance. So if 10 of you register by December, then 10 will be at that networking dinner. Early actors get early advance. So 10 of you will have advanced today. I mean, that just, it is what it is. You know, my mentor always says, opportunity isn't always convenient. And that it is what it is. So that website will go up Monday. I also have the Christians in Business Contracting and Business event that is this October. Those tickets are up, and we're holding and we're talking about some important things along with government contracting information. Um, Now, I was having now, just transparency moment. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who said that, you know, the tickets were probably not selling as quickly as I like because of the ticket price. Um, and I've looked at the budget for the event 50 Ways from Sunday. And quite frankly, I don't have a sponsor for this event. So the ticket price is the ticket price. So unless a sponsor comes in, I can't move the ticket price. However, so I can't move the ticket price for the event. Um, and I honestly don't want to move the event. One, trying to source another venue at this late date. Two, what does it say about us as believers in business? I think that says a lot. But the event is open. There are, I think this is an important and impactful conversation that we're having. So, along with the business of business and the business and networking, that's important. I think it's important that we as believers come together and we talk about how to conduct business and not put down our faith and how we do that. I mean, we don't have to conduct, but don't even, most people, when I conduct my business, you don't even notice that I'm conducting business as a believer in business because I don't believe you have to spout Bible scriptures all over the place. But I am conducting business as a faith-based person. There's a way to do that and without stripping yourself of your identity. And that's why it's important that we come in the room and we gather and we discuss what that looks like, what leadership as a believer in business looks like, and those decisions look like. So 80 tickets. The registration link is in the description. Purchase a ticket for a friend. If you know someone who's willing to sponsor the event, reach out to me because if I got a sponsor, then maybe I can adjust the ticket price. And maybe that will attract more but additional attendees. But I do believe that it's important that we as believers come in the room and fellowship to discuss what it looks like to be believers in business. So with that, we want to keep in mind back into Chatter is I have plans for this platform, Contractors Chatter. And so you're going to see some morphing and changing. I will stream some of my already recorded content. Now, I did not realize that the recording that I played last Friday, that part of it was muted. My apologies, I didn't check the recording. So I'm going to be more mindful of that. But I'm recording new interviews for the podcast. And the new season of the podcast, Contractors Conversation, will go live September. So I'm recording new interviews, new content for that. And some of the new interviews will include speakers for the Contractors Intensive. So you don't have to wait for the intensive to be introduced to my guests. You'll get introduced to them through the podcast. And I will stream snippets of the interviews on Chatter. And then you can watch the full interview through Spotify, Google Podcasts, Contractors Conversations on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and on my YouTube channel, YouTube Podcast. So that's what's going on with Contractors Conversation. I'm also going to bring you some additional. I'm in conversations with someone to bring their content into Contractors Chatter because they cover court cases and their analysis is spot on. So I'm in conversations with someone to bring their content into Chatter. So once I've finished those conversations, we work out some agreements, you'll see some legal analysis from someone else that I'll stream into Chatter from time to time. It will not be consistent at first because I'm not that tech savvy. So we're going to have to work that out. And then you'll start seeing a constant stream integration of that content, which is why I moved Chatter to a different platform. Eventually, Chatter will exclusively stream from YouTube just because of the way I want to bring that additional content. And I still want to hear from my audience, though. So if there's content you want me to cover, please post it in the comment section or send me emails, DMs. I actually get a lot of my topics from conversations that I hold with potential clients and clients, conversations that I hold on a daily basis. That's where a lot of my content comes from. So please engage. Share out with your network. That's where a lot of my subject matter comes from. I engage with, or my target audience are businesses seeking entrance into government contracting. I have a consulting firm, and they're businesses that are established businesses, earning revenue, or businesses that are operating in the realm that are emerging 8A companies. So they have a unique need. I have 20 plus years experience in the industry in compliance. So I speak from an audit perspective. Most people that are operating in the industry speak from I'm a contract, I've won contracts, this is what I've done. And what I often find is their information, while good, is incomplete. They are missing that audit piece, or they're missing they're missing pieces because they're talking from the perspective of they never got caught doing some of the stuff they've done. And just because you never got caught doesn't mean what you're doing is right. And that's some of the things that we're going to talk about at the Contractors Intensive. That's amazingly enough, the presenters that are coming, my facilitators that are coming, when I was talking with them, we have that commonality because we're like, yes, there's too much of this. Well, so and so told me this and they never got caught, so it must be true. No, they just never got caught. But let's go look over here at the list of companies that have been disbarred for the exact same thing that you're talking about. And it's why you can't scale your companies, because you're doing things that are proven not to work, or proven to be against the regulations, or just proven not to be. Why do something somebody, the expert is telling you doesn't work, isn't above board? Why do it? I'm actually toying with reaching out to someone. We had a bit of a contentious, you know what? I actually think she's a brilliant woman. She'll probably see this recording. No, I don't care. We had a contentious relationship when we worked together. I think she's a brilliant woman, which is why I want to reach out to her to be a speaker at the event. We just couldn't work together. And I think we couldn't work together because we had two different perspectives. And this goes back to workplace gossip. And we're going to talk about that as well, and how that can that goes back to how what other people say in the workplace can color your perspective, and what you have going on in your personal life bleeds over into the workplace, and how mismanagement and poor leadership affects everything. You leading yourself incorrectly and you leading your team incorrectly. So I think that's a powerful conversation. I hope she's open to being a presenter at my event, and I hope she's open to that conversation. I don't know, I might be opening a can of worms, but I'm a little bit crazy. People who know me knows that. So that's all I have for this morning, those three announcements. So hopefully you'll stay along for the ride as chatter continues to ebb and grow. I continue to add content. I'm going to focus and bring you a little more legislative news organized because my business, I'm restructuring my company. And it's taken a little more of my focus than I thought it would. So I'm not able to bring you as much legislative information as I wanted to, because that's what Chatter's about. It's about the legislative changes that are coming down the pipe. And I really want to bring that before you, because there are a lot of changes, like the change to the mental protege program, the change to, the 8A program that's out there. Go to the Federal Register, read that, comment on that. There's that one change I do not like. I want to do a in-depth report on that. But every time I sit down to go to write rep report, I get distracted with something that needs to be done in my business. I'm telling you, that's another note that I'm gonna sign off for the day. I'm actually going to bring in some additional help. I just need to get through the hump to expand my staff so I can get my bandwidth together. there's that one change to the 8A program I do not like. I think it's a hindrance, or it's going to be something that's not going to work for, it's going to work against the true spirit of the 8A program. I don't like it. But go to the Federal Registry, look at it, comment on it, especially the emerging small businesses out there. Please, please, please look at that. So, with that note, I just wanted to give you a touch of what's going on as we go into the weekend. I look forward to seeing you Monday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is Luciana Turner, your host. Have an amazing, restful weekend, and I will see you Monday morning.